Question number 98 of the IT Passport exam for PhilNITS. We are now in the strategy portion of the exam. In this question, we are being asked, which of the following is the most appropriate description of IoT? IoT stands for Internet of Things. For letter A, because we need to, of course, read each and every choice before we can arrive with the best answer, it's saying that it's a learning mechanism in artificial intelligence. I think this is a use of technology, a use of computers, but it's not the most appropriate description of Internet of Things, at least based on the choices that we've read, because we only read one. So we can move on to the next and see if it's any better, the next one. But because I've answered this just a while ago too, I know that this is not the best answer. So I'm going to put an X mark here. Letter B, it is a mechanism where devices or control units equipped with a sensor connect directly to the internet and exchange a variety of information via the internet. Okay, this is the best answer. And I say this because it has the words internet, and we're looking for something related to the internet. And we have devices or control units here that have sensors where they send information to the internet, and because it's sent to the internet, people can access those things and learn about what's happening. An example of this would be self-driving vehicles, or even like one of those small vehicles that carry delivery packages. And for example, inside a warehouse, you want to know if there's this item there or not, and if there is this item in the warehouse, the vehicle would go there and pick up the package, and then bring it to you. So I've seen that kind of system in one of the warehouses in Japan, where Amazon.com was working with people there to pretty much organize the deliveries. So they're using automated vehicles to get the packages at a much faster pace. Okay, so those things, and I just want to add too that I got that from Asahi Shimbun Digital, because I've been reading Asahi Shimbun Digital, and one of those examples that we can learn of how to make use of technology, particularly in organizing warehouse packages and things like that. Okay, so letter C. What's letter C? It is a group of functions and procedures that are made public in order to enable some of the features of a piece of software to be used by other programs. This one I think is not necessarily Internet of Things, but it's definitely open source, which means that people can write code, put it up online, and anyone who wants to use them can learn from them, use them as well. But I think there are people who think that even if you put up your code up there, no one's gonna read it, no one's gonna understand it anyway. So it's not gonna do much damage to your company. But we do know that there are companies that have been successful using open source software, creating open source software, sharing open source software. Like for example, Firefox, the Firefox browser, which we still use, and also Linux, the Linux operating system, which we also still use. And so there are definitely success stories of how open source software can can improve certain types of software, certain types of applications. Okay, and of course, one of the reasons why we put up our code online and not kept it privately was because we were prioritizing the relationships that we can form with people more than the source code. Because there are people who would work with you only if you share your source code. And there are those who, um, for example, um, certain trends happening in the industry where even though you tell the software developer that we're not putting up the code online, when they leave the company, they bring the code with them too. So they ended up using the software, and when you find out, um, are you gonna sue this developer, um, or are you gonna do some kind of um, filing of a case or penalty against that developer or not? And likely you won't, because the developer won't be um, won't be won't be worth the lawsuit at all. And so what we do is upfront we tell the people that it's okay. We share the code, put it up online, and that way we maintain this type of relationship that we know um, what usually happens anyway. Where when people leave the company, they also bring the code with them and even use the code without even telling the company where they worked at and developed the software at. So upfront, we tell people that because we also know that trend, and because we want to maintain our good relations with each other, then we say it's okay. You just go and use it. Um, no more one of those hard feelings where at the end the developer might feel that he did something wrong or something like that. So of course, there are people who don't feel that kind of emotion at all. But of course, because you came to our company, then maybe we thought that you have some kind of um, conscience. Okay. All right. So letter D. It is a tool that uses a software robot to streamline routine work. This is, I think, an automation tool like a bot that auto generates reports. You can use batch files to take photographs of reports. Of course, using another tool like in our case, we use the JavaScript. We use JavaScript to take photographs of our web-based reports. And I think that helps us make things much faster because we have to do it every day. And of course, if you're using Windows or Linux, there are, of course, bots that you can also create and use for your application, whether you're using any of those operating systems or something else. Okay, so we put an X mark here, and again, the best answer in this case is letter B.